Okay, Nick. Good morning, everyone. Uh, Online friends, can you hear my voice? Say yes or no to me once. Right. So yesterday, uh, I written some code actually. Online students will understand anyway. Offline students, some comfortness will not be there. I'll repeat what has been happened for 5-10 minutes, and I'll write the remaining code also. I'll write it. That's the plan for today. So slowly we should increase the code level and come slowly, slowly, slowly. So third application I am typing. In the third application, third I think. So first program anyway, one servlet program has to take the request or data, and the servlet program has to give the response. That is first program. Through that program, we are trying to educate a student. Whatever the data you submitted from HTML form, the data is available in the request object. We are collecting the data from request object by using one method known as get parameter method. That is the first program. Read some username and mail ID I took. I displayed. I given one assignment as a code, name, price, quantity for practice purpose to make the student to understand the data is available in the request. That is the point. Second program I concentrated on request dispatcher. My target is request dispatcher. One interface available from Jakarta dot or simply servlet library. One request dispatcher available from servlet library. This request dispatcher is supporting servlet communication. Servlet communication means what, sir? Servlet will communicate with another servlet. Servlet will communicate with HTML. Servlet will communicate with JSP. Whatever the communication the servlet is doing, the communications are two types the servlet can do. The servlet can do forward communication. The servlet can do include communication. It can do. So these communications are categorized into two types, I said. Forward communication and include communication. In forward communication, servlet program 1 will take the request and forwards the request to servlet program 2. Servlet program 2 will give the response. To observe this, I written one program to you. Choice servlet will take the request and forwards the request to edition servlet. I drawn the diagram. There I want to educate a student. Whenever I use one forward method, I am passing request and response as parameter. Object references as parameter. Whenever I am passing object references as parameter, the request and response objects are reused by the second one. This point very important, I am repeating. Choice servlet performing forward communication with addition servlet. No need to add the diagram. It is a one-time process. If anybody come with the diagram also, I will not explain because I also will not understand. Once drawn over, conceptual flow, that's all. That is program not important, diagram not important. Through that one concept important. Catch the concept and leave the program. What is the concept here means I am doing forward communication is the concept. In forward communication, I am using a method known as forward. I am passing two non-primitive data type variables as parameter. One is request and response. So this addition servlet is reusing this request and response. That point you have to catch it. Include communication. Servlet program 1 will take the request One means some servlet program will take the request and generate the response. With this response, it is trying to include the response of another servlet or include HTML, include JSP, something. So where this include communication available here. Now imagine addition servlet is one servlet program, you imagine it. This addition servlet is taking the request. Addition servlet is generating the response. With this response, it is including input.html. So through this program, I tried to make you to understand forward and include communication. Then after, according to real-time scenario, according to real-time JSP MVC applications, servlet must not give the response. Servlet must not give the response. According to real-time application development. In your lab, servlet can give the response, no problem. When you join somewhere, when you work on JSP MVC project, servlet should not give the response. Who has to give the response now? JSP has to give the response. But if I increase JSP programming, collapse may come. I must handle that situation very sensitively. So I written limited notes on the JSP, what is needed. Moreover, I am trying to use only two tags in the JSP. One is scriptlet, one is include. You can observe the code. Very carefully I'll handle, don't worry. You will understand it. One day I'll increase the level and come. It's a training strategy. So I want to write one third program where I want to introduce to the student as a JSP response. I want to give. Whenever I want to take a JSP response, first I must introduce JSP theoretically. JSP stands for Java Server Page, which is response from web application. JSP is more simple when compared to servlet programming because it is tag-based programming language. In JSP, we save the program with .JSP as an extension, not a .java as an extension. It is a .JSP as an extension. What is the flexibility with the JSP program is you can write both codes inside the JSP. You can write HTML code. You can write Java code. Both you can write in the JSP. All of you can remember these 4 points. Sir, whenever I want to write a HTML code, I can write. Yesterday only I brought one table tag roughly. Slowly I'll bring the HTML into JSP also. I'll educate slowly. Check boxes, radio buttons. That all I only will introduce. How to read them, how to print them. Okay, right. JSP will give a flexibility for Java programmer to write. HTML code plus Java code you can write. There's a flexibility. Sir, HTML code means I had n number of HTML tags with me. But how to write Java code in JSP program? Then they provided 3 tags from JSP. What are they now? Scripting tags, directive tags, action tags. By the names. If you don't know that also, by the names you by it. Because when you go for technical interview, at least you must know what it is. If you don't know also, you'll search somewhere and write it. They knows. But at least you must say the names. What are the tags you must say? If you know the tags, they'll say, okay, you know the tags, no enough come. Everybody is copy paste only in my company. You also can do. But at least you must know the names, no. Some pattern you must know. In your project somewhere, case study when you are keeping in a resume, one case study must be there with a JSP out. So they'll give an, okay, he knows MVC pattern. He knows JSP, he knows servlet, he knows bean. Some pattern he knows, he will, by seeing that knowledge, he may take. So I concentrated on JSP 3 tags. Scripting tags, directive tags, and action tags. Action tags, no notes. Scripting, sorry, directive tags, no notes, I not given. I given 3 tags that is under scripting, that is scriptlet, expression, and declarative, because the 3 tags are very easy. I given. One is percentile symbol, one is percentile equal to, one is percentile exclamatory, where student can understand very easily. I given. Remaining notes I not written. You need not worry. I only will write the notes in the last one day. JSP conclusion title will come. On that day, we'll write what are these directive tags, what are these action tags, where I should use, what is JSP life cycle like this. 4 or 5 important interview questions. We prepare the student and send it. Until then, we are using script-let tag and we are using on demand. One at the rate of include we are using. So this is JSP. Now I must bring the JSP inside. Then I drawn a diagram on JSP to you. One JSP response I took. That is a third application I took. The third application. So I given one assignment as product.html I given. I want to provide some solution for it. I provided the solution in the form of JSP out. Through this, what I educated, sir, whenever I submit the form, the data is available in the request. Up to here, you only done the assignment already. Only new thing is, sir, here I am displaying the details. I don't want to display. I'll forward the control to JSP. Here also rd dot forward. Previous example also rd dot forward only. I am passing two addresses as parameter. Here also same. Request and response reused. But they are reusing with what names now? Request, one implicit name. Response, one implicit name. All of you clear about it? Right. I written the addresses also. They are reusing the addresses. Just here object will not be there. This object only here actually. But if I don't draw here, it becomes empty. No, just I kept one box here. This object only I am reusing here with the name request and the address is reused. That's the meaning of it. What is the proof means? Same. What are the methods available in the request? I'm using get parameter. I'm displaying the data. But here, not print writer. What is this one now? JSP writer. Now print writer not needed from today because JSP is the output, not servlet output. Don't write the two lines from today. Print writer PW is equal to res dot get writer, res dot set content type you must not write. The two you will write when the servlet want to give the response. But in real time, servlet never gives the response. It must not give the response also. Who has to give the response now? JSP. In my room, JSP. If we cross my room now, Spring EL will come. If I cross my room, one day Spring will come. Spring expression language will come. They will put the outputs. But before they're putting the output, first they'll take my JSP. Then they'll change the JSP into their pattern. First, you must know the JSP out that I'm trying. All of understood third program? Right. Now I want to take a fourth program I want to take. So whenever I want to take a fourth program, then I concentrated on DAO. I brought DAO. Sir, I know servlet, first two programs. I know JSP, that is third program. I know servlet and JSP. Then I must know the database. You know database interaction with the JDBC, but I want one layer to be introduced here. So I'm trying. All of you got this point? So fourth application, I must increase one more layer income and this must be the application. That's my target. Then I brought a DAO. DAO stands for data access object. It means originally data part is available there. Database data part, your HTML data part will come to that layer. That's the meaning of DAO. Data access object layer, which is separate. Data access object, which is separate layer in web applications to hold database related code or database related logic or persistent logic, you can say. In that DAO, what you can write? Database connection codes, database creation codes, database insertion codes, database retrieval codes, some whatever the operations you want to do with the database, the database codes you have tried as a subclasses you have tried. Whenever you want to send the data to database, you must not send the data directly to DAO. You must put the data to bean. That is the nature of your web application architecture. So then I brought bean to you. Whenever I want to bring a bean to you, I brought bean class. I brought the class which is declared with four coding rules or some coding rules. We call it as a bean class. The first rule is the class must be implemented from java.io.serializable. Second rule, the class variables must be declared as a private. Third one, the class must be declared with one zero argument constructor, or you can say zero parameter constructor. Third one. Fourth one, you must write getter and setter methods. So if you follow these four coding rules, if you can construct one class, the class by terminology, we call it as bean class. Very important question. Define bean class or bean object, whatever it may be. This bean class will give one object known as bean object. Sir, what we are going to do with this bean object? Whatever the data I want to send to the database product, I load the data to bean and I'll send it. Whatever the data I am bringing out of my database product, I'll keep it onto beans and I'll access. So beans are intermediate storages between servlet and database indirectly. All have understood this bean class and bean object, right? After giving the notes on them, sorry, if more number of beans are coming, in your core Java, you had a collection framework, means organizing objects in groups. Among that, you had three options. You had array, collection, map. So array we never take here. I said size problem is available. Size restriction is available to you. You have to take the support of collection or map you have to take. So I'm calling it as JCF. JCF stands for what now? Java Collection Framework Object, like this. This is the layer. Hope you understood the layer, I think. In the last yesterday in online, I brought one bean object to load the data. I'll clarify that what I done. Okay, right. Now, after giving the notes to you, here, the same notes only I done it. DAO, bean, whatever the diagram I shown, that is there. Now I'm going to write one application related to employee details. Whenever you want to start the application, you have to keep your Tomcat server off always. Right. Then I brought one diagram yesterday. Employee details app. I'll take it. Okay, right. I'll re-explain the concept. I'm giving one option here. What is the option here now? Sorry. What is the first home page now? Home.html, like this. So I took one application name, application servlet for employee details. I took. Sir, http colon localhost colon 8082 colon application servlet for employee details. So this is your application. When the application is deployed, one servlet context object created. Yesterday I not run that. Servlet context object created. Then always we draw. The control will go to web.xml. The control will go to web.xml. From web.xml, home.html, home.html will come out. Here two anchor tags I said. In your web.xml, complete diagram will not come, just to flow to recollect or reactivate, because I'm writing part 2. Okay, right. Where we have been stopped for idea purpose. Yesterday for your disturbance will be there because I'm in driving mode. Yes. My driver is driving, I set the class. I don't want to leave you. That's right. Right. Look here. Now, because of some part I not run, because of that, look here. Here, 1 minute. Here we had web.xml. Up to here, you know already. This I'm cross checking and showing to you. And first time I written yesterday, home.html. Here form tag not available. Anchor tag is there. You know anchor tag from your HTML trainer already. HREF means hyperlink reference. Whenever you click on add employee, it will be linked to employee.html. Yesterday we linked to employee.html. Right? We are submitting the data. After filling this employee ID, employee name, employee designation, basic salary, HRA, here are options I given to select it. Roughly, I want to show one select box to you. I introduce to select. Somewhere I'll show check boxes. Somewhere I'll show radio buttons like this, one or two. What are the HTML form data? You must know how to read all, no? Here, just roughly brought one select. So you can call it as a list box, I think. Next or select tag, you can say. So I am submitting the data. You know this, sir. It is a post request. Add employee post request. Data is available here. Request the data is available. Okay, right. I am going to add employee servlet. I am going. The control will come to add employee servlet. This add employee servlet, our visual is the data is in the request. All the data is in the request. The add employee servlet is taking from request object, it is taking ID. From request object, it is taking name. From request object, it is taking designation. For clarity purpose, I'm reading. Okay, right. And basic salary from request object. But return type of get parameter is string. I'm converting into integer. You know this pattern. Basic salary up to here, correct only. Okay, right. But HRA is coming in the form of 0.93, 0.91. Sir, what is this meaning means? HRA will be 93% of basic salary, 61% of basic salary. Like this, the company will give. Basic salaries will be very less. After adding HRA DA only, total salary increases for employees. Roughly, I took always 63, 61, I took it. Suppose you selected some 93, I think. Suppose you selected 93 here. 93 will come. How? 0.93 will come. This is float. In HR, 0.93 will come. 0.93 is not HRA. So I took one temporary variable HR. Here I'm calculating. HR into basic salary means what? 0.93 of basic salary. All have understood this point? Then it becomes a complete HRA. All have understood this pattern, right? Same D also. Roughly I took D, 0.61 or 63. Two options I given. Based on your government employee, based on your designations, that HRDA will be there. Based on your working area, metropolitan city different and urban different, something will be there. In that calculation, if you work in Hyderabad, they'll give HRA more. If you work in some other rural area or another area, HRA will be less because maintenance point of view, HRA DA will be there. I'm speaking about government employees. Software employees unlimited. That's very different. So here D. So here DA. Right. I'm Cal. Hope you understood HRDA. Whether you followed this line yesterday or not, I don't know. In the online, I'm repeating. So HRDA came. Okay, right. ID, name, designation, basic salary, HRDA over. Now HRDA must be added to basic salary, means basic salary plus 93% of basic salary, 61% of your basic salary. So if you add it, total salary will come. Total. Now already all fields are ready now. ID, name, designation, basic salary, HRA, DA, total salary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need 7 only, no? Right. After reading the data from the request, then we are creating bean object. We are creating, sorry, where is this? We are creating bean object, line number 21. Employee bean, EB is equal to new employee bean object I am creating. One object created with null values. Into that object, I am loading the data. Loading data to employee object, employee bean object I am loading. Whenever you want to load the data to object in core Java, I'll write a notes or your trainers will write it. In my notes, you can check it. How many ways you can load the data to object? As a code writer, I can load the data in 3 ways. I can load the data to object by using constructor. I can load the data by using object reference variable. I can load the data by using setter method. I only will write in my notes. In constructor chapter, ending, before going to block, I'll take the title and I'll write it because I am advanced Java trainer also, no? Because student as must not get a doubt because I'll write that statement there. I'll educate and I'll give the assignment also to practice that. Today I'm using setter method to load the data. Set ID, load to EB. Set name, load to EB means what? They are all setter methods loading the data to employee bean object. All of you clear about this point? Right. Employee bean object is holding the data. Means what you observe now? Developer knows HTML form data came to request object. From request object, I loaded the data to bean object. Object-oriented programmer can make data travel from one object to another object. I can move it. Object-oriented programmer can do. So I lifted the data from request object to bean object. So our visual, the data is in the bean. The data is in the bean. Now I must give this bean object to one method known as a DAO class. DAO class means it is doing some operation on the database, no? It is doing some operation on the database. So I named it as a DAO, Data Access Object Layer class. My intention is that I took one class known as add employee DAO. This add employee DAO is having one instance variable K, one method known as insert. Employee written K, na, that is one actually. Right, look here. I am going with add employee DAO. I am going. This add employee DAO, I took one variable K is equal to 0. When it is executed successfully, K will become 1. That's my intention. Now one insert method is there. I am passing EB as parameter. EB means non-primitive data type variable means address. I am passing one address to insert method. Insert method, you collect the data from one address. That's the meaning. In that address, one memory will be there. In that memory, data is there. Go and collect it. That's the meaning of it. I am passing non-primitive data type variable as parameter. Employee bean, I am passing. Now the data is available in the bean object. I must load the data to prepared statement object. I must load it. Do you remember JDBC? Right. Louder I want. Because JDBC layer I'm not drawing because already I spent the time there for 15 sessions already. So because of by time taking also I drawn the diagram. We have to load the data to prepared statement object. You have to load it. Whenever you want to load to the prepared statement object, now see there, prepared statement PS is equal to con dot prepare statement, insert into employee 61 values. How many parameter indexes are there? That many fields created. I created one visual to in the JDBC already. Now you have to load it. From where I should load now? Data is available in the employee bean. See there, PS dot set string, parameter index 1. Get the data, get employee ID from EB. All of understood now? From bean object, we are loading the data to prepared statement object. All of it clear, right? Once the data is loaded to prepared statement object, this is JDBC. PS dot execute update. All of you got it now? Now K value will become 1. Whatever the K value 1 is there, this is 1. I written K there in diagram 1. So return 1. Where is this? Down. Down, return that 1. This return value should go to servlet. That's my target. Okay, right. Now what servlet will do now? Create object for DAO. Add employee DAO, some variable name I taken. AED is equal to new add employee DAO. Creating object for DAO. Using that AED dot insert method I'm calling. I'm passing this bean as a parameter. Now the insert method will do all insert operation, returns one value to me. What is the value now? 1 will come. If insert successful, 1 will come. If K greater than 0, if it is true, forward the control to add employee dot JSP. All of understood this? Says or no to me? All of you got that very right. There one database connection line is there, no? This one. Sir, in this database connection line, what is happening? Here I am not using driver manager dot get connection. I'm not using. Have you observed this point? Right. What I'm doing now, DB connection, one predefined class I written. I'm calling this method known as get con. I'm calling. Let us open that DB connection. Let us open. DB connection. I'm calling one method known as get con. Have you observed this? Right. DB connection dot get con. Get con is a static method. Static method you have to call with class name, object name, class name. So get con method is returning con. I'll have observed this point, right? So whenever this class is used for the first time, static block will run or not now. When the static block runs, con object created. Do you remember con object diagram? Louder I want. Alafi, JDBC visual should come. Sir, visual not coming, sir, means it must come because 15 days we spend there. Because of 1 hour, 10 minutes, 1 week increased already. Right? Okay. But you must get that visual also, right? Con object came, sir. This con object I am accessing. Hope you understood yesterday's pattern. All of it clear? Right. Okay. Now today's class is, sir, from here, whenever I select it, add employee, other one is view employees, I think. View employees. Here. Sir, we selected this yesterday. We finish after the action. After action has been completed, sir, one output also came here. The output came in the form of one JSP. The JSP is add employee JSP. Yesterday one output also came, sir. Add employee dot JSP. From this add employee JSP, here the output came. Employee added successfully. Employee added successfully. And home.html is repeated. Home.html is repeated. in this home.html, add employee, view employees. So this is the output we generated yesterday. Right. This output. We stopped it. Can I continue from here now? Right. I'm going to click what now? View employees. Yesterday, one null value came from designation. Have you observed anybody in the online? Right. Very good. Who observed? See there. Yesterday, I executed this program. Connect system and tiger. Uh, Select star from employee 61. Here, designation not there. Okay, right. Now delete from employee 61. One row deleted, no? Right. Because null value is there, no? Right. So commit. I'll run the program once again from here. Then that will come. Yesterday I corrected, no, already. So run as, run on server, click on finish. So add employee. I took some S11, name I took Alex, SCRT something, basic salary 35,000, 0.91, 0.61, add employee. Employee added successfully, add one more, A11, some Raj I will take. So he is SC only, some 40,000 I will take. So 93 I'll take, 61 I'll take, add employee. Coming now. Answer is coming out. So we are adding, okay, right. Some data we are adding. These are the final salaries you had it. Okay, right. So data is adding successfully. Now we have to see that employees here code not available. I must click on view employees. All employees must come out. Okay, right. So stop the Tomcat server. Right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on view employees. I'm going to click it. Whenever I click on view employees here home.html. Okay, right. Whenever I click on view employees, here href is equal to one URL pattern. We can send the request to URL pattern directly. Means one servlet directly. Sir, control is coming to one servlet directly. Control is coming to one servlet completely. So based on URL pattern view, and this is view employees servlet, because it is going to display all employees, no? Right. The control will come from here to here. Right. Remember one statement. Whenever we submit the data from form tag by writing method is equal to post, then the post request. Other than this, if any request coming to servlet, that is get request. All have understood it? Whenever one form tag is there, in that form tag, if you write method is equal to post, that is post request. Other than that, if any request coming to servlet, here also one request coming to servlet without form tag. So this request is get request. What is the request now? Get request. To hold get request, we must use do post method or do get method. Do get method we have to use. Anyway, we are asking to get the details only, no, that is get request only. It's a meaning. So in this get request, the control will come here. Here one request object, one response object, request object, response object. Request object is empty. Why request object is empty means no data submitted here. Just I'm forwarding the control to view employee servlet. All of it clear? Right. Okay. Now what this servlet program will do? This servlet program has to do one operation known as select star from employee 61. That is a query. It has to run one select query or not now. Whenever it want to run one select query, it will take the support of one object. DAO object it will take. So this object is view employees. Same names I will take. View employees DAO dot Java. It's not Java. This is object. I am going to take one class known as view employees DAO. I am going to take. All of it clear, right? Can I construct that first? Right, observe it. Now I am taking today's classes. I am starting with one DAO. View employees DAO dot Java. Just observe the code. Don't write anything. Just watch it. I am taking one class. Right click on test, new class, view employees DAO. I'm taking. In this, I am importing java.sql because SQL query will come. Right. Now look here. View employees means multiple employee details will come. Single employee details will come. Multiple employee details will come. When the multiple employee details are there, each employee detail will come to one bean object. Each employee detail will come to one bean object. Suppose 10 employees are there means 10 beans will be created. To hold that 10 beans, we need Java collection framework object. Now I am bringing one Java collection framework. Import java.util. Common known thing is array list I will take. Array list going to hold employee bean objects. AL is equal to new array list is going to hold employee bean objects. Employee bean objects. Now, one method I will take it. Return type of that method is array list. Employee bean. Array list is the return type. RETRIEVE. Retrieve. Retrieve means getting the data or not now. Retrieve. And the return type is AL. This method, retrieve method, is going to return AL. Means returning array list object it is returning. Here one array list object created. Now in this syntax, what happens? Now, sir, here one array list object is created. One object created here means one address will be created because new keyword is there, no? Right. This reference will hold unlimited employee bean objects. That address is going to hold unlimited employee bean objects is going to hold. What is the size of this array list means at present 0. Size means what now? No elements available. Yes or no? Na? That's called size. No elements available. One array list object created. This array list object reference will be here. Array list AL is equal to 0x99. That is the line number 5. Line number 5 is tightly coupled reference as a relation. If we create object for view employee DAO, AL will hold the reference of array list object. This is a concept. And this retrieve method, return type is array list. Of course, bean is there here. RETRIEVE, retrieve method is going to return AL. That AL should come to your servlet program. That AL should come to servlet program. The servlet program is going to take that AL. That's the meaning. In that AL, one address is there. In that address, 0 members. Size is 0, right? What is the logic we are writing? See there. The logic is inside this. Try catch. Exception handling will be trained. Okay, right. In this program, exception handling will be trained to you. Until then, you keep it as e.print stack trace exception e, or you can keep system.out println anything. So system.out.println. If you write system.out, where the exception will come? So the message will come in the console. Okay, right. Inside this connection con is equal to don't create object because already object is in the DB connection. You have to use it. DB connection dot get con. So this is accessing existing object reference. Using this retrieve method, no? Retrieve means select query or not now, right? So prepared statement PS is equal to con dot prepare statement. Here select star from employee 61. Select query return type is result set, no? execute update, execute query, execute query. So here result set rs is equal to ps dot execute query. Sir, result set ps dot execute query. Before that, sir, this is the data. This is the data. First, result set object I educated to you already. One result set object will come. Here, one result set object. Some 0x roughly. Into this result set object, the data will come. Yes or no? Na? Louder. The data will come to buffer, buffer to result set. No need to draw the buffer because within 1 week you can start Spring. Because session track only pending. After 1 week, any batch within this week starting, start it out. Introduction will be going on. Their Spring data will come, Spring ORM will come, you put it. Because I asked you not to work with JDBC. JDBC is the knowledge point of view. You learned something, you have to travel forward. Over. Sir, I not practice JDBC means happiest person only. Because within 1 week, Spring data will come now. Updating and going forward, the knowledge. So the data is accommodated here to result set. Sir, this is result set object. That's the visuals we created. So anyway, 2 records are there. If you have more records, more records. Here one cursor is there. I prepared your mindset, one cursor. Here, column numbers. I'm asking to visualize column number. All of understood result set? Right. From this result set now, what is the work we have to do means as a code writer? Take the first record outside, create one bean object and load it. That is the logic we are going to write. Take one record outside, create one bean object, load the data. That bean object add to array list. All of understood now? That is the work I am going to do. Take record, load to bean, add that bean to array list. Take the second record, create bean, add to array list. Like this, 40 employees are there means 40 beans will be created. All that 40 beans will be added to array list or linked list or vector, whatever the company specifies, you do it. For easiness, I am taking array list. Array list means it looks like an array only, no index value will be there. Okay, right. I'm doing the work. I'll move the cursor first. I'll move the cursor. I'll move the cursor forward. I'm moving the cursor forward here. While rs dot next. I'm moving the cursor. End of loop. Write it right. Whenever I move the cursor, if record is there, how many records, that many beans should come now? If record is there, create the bean now. Sir, employee bean. EB is equal to new employee bean. All have understood now? I am creating one bean object here. Whatever the bean object created now, sir, bean object created. Now the data is in the result set now, you load it. Whenever you want to load the data to bean object, setter method is there now. Yesterday, you loaded the data from request to bean. Today, you are loading the data from result set to bean. Reversely coming or not now? Yesterday, HTML form data coming. Today, database data is coming. If you understand this pattern from me, you can take a long breath and go. That only pattern happening in the market. Now the data is coming. How it will come now? See there. EB dot set employee ID. I'm setting the employee ID. Setter method of employee bean. From where I should take it now? I must take from the result set or not now? So rs dot get string from column number 1. All of understood now? First column data loaded to the first field of your bean. EB dot set employee name. RS dot get string from column number 2. EB dot set string. Sorry. EB dot set designation. Set E designation. RS dot get string from column number 3. After ID, name, designation, X what now? Basic salary. So EB dot set basic salary. RS dot get int from column number 4. Next one, HR is coming now. EB dot set HRA. RS dot get float. I took a float form now from 5. Now EB dot set DA. RS dot get float from column number 6. Now EB dot set total salary. Set total salary. RS dot get float from column number 7. All of you clear about these lines? Taking from the result set and loading into your bean object. Whatever the bean object came, add that bean object to array list. Whenever you want to add the bean object array list, we had a method add no. In your collection framework, you had to add al dot add of employee bean. So adding bean object to array list. Who are attending my 4:30 p.m. core Java, don't practice collection framework, practice this one. Final target, this only no. There small classes I give an employee, student. At last one employee table is coming to you. Employee, all practice with the tables only, drop out that collection framework from core Java. Our target is database table should come to one collection framework object. That is a real-time scenario. Right. So I'll draw this once. Sir, here one bean object created. Sir, one bean object created here. Employee ID is equal to employee name is equal to employee designation is equal to basic salary is equal to HRA is equal to DA is equal to total salary is equal to remaining all setters and getters. Roughly I'm writing 0C1 I'm writing. I added this address to array list. 0, C1. Array list will have index. Yes or no? Na? It will have an index value because it is under the family of list. Set means no index. So first object added like this. Create. How many employees are there? That many objects. Anyway, two only there. I'm drawing the diagram. Employee ID is equal to employee name is equal to employee designation is equal to basic salary is equal to HRA is equal to DA is equal to total salary equal to something is missed. One. Right. Why I'm drawing the diagram means each record is available on bin. All of understood, right? Do you know ORM tool? What is ORM? Object relation mapping tools. Whatever the logic I'm writing manually, they brought it tool form. Not only ORM tool, Spring ORM. The student will feel happy when you connect answer is coming. No, sir, they'll feel it. But one day you must become a tool writer, not tool user. How many days tool users? One day your package crosses to 20 plus lakhs, it crosses. On that day, still you cannot use a tool. You must write a tool writer. On that day, you need manual logic. That only core Java. How many days also core Java only, advanced Java only. That student not understanding nowadays. The reason all tools came means who is writing tool then? If all are tools, then who designs the tools? Some manual code writing need or not? It is a manual code. The same thing your Spring trainer will do with a tool. He'll connect one tool, the tool will do. But who written the tool? Java developer only written the tool. That point you have to catch it because you are sitting in my room to see the manual logic. The data are accommodated to beans. The beans are added to array list. All of it clear now? Right. This array list I am returning to your view employee servlet. AL is equal to 0x99. I am giving the address location to you. The data are accommodated and coming. See yesterday's diagram. HTML form to bean to database. Today, database to result set to bean to array list to servlet. That's the flow. The data is coming without result set because I given more diagram on result set. Without result set, who will hold the data then? The data will come here. From there, I am accommodating to beans. From beans, I am accommodating array list. Because of this reason, in core Java, we spend more time on collection framework. By touching all components, we'll touch it. All components you must know from array list. Not array list, total collection framework and map. All components, at least 80% you must know. Which one we'll use in the market, we only don't know. You must learn all patterns and we must be ready. That only collection framework. At last, the array list address is coming here means that address, I will take it. View employee servlet is taking. Now see here. Now returning the AL. All of you understood this logic? Says or no to me? Right. So return the logic. Sorry. Return AL. Now AL must be taken by your servlet. Now I am writing the servlet. View employees servlet. I am writing this. View employees servlet. View employees servlet dot Java. View employees servlet dot Java. Right click on test, new and class. View employees, servlet, new employees servlet. Now the request is post a get request, import java dot io. Today util is coming because error list is coming to servlet. So you must import java dot util. Remaining all common. Import Jakarta dot servlet. Import Jakarta dot servlet dot HTTP. Import Jakarta dot servlet dot annotation at the rate of web servlet of double quotes slash view. If you forget to give the slash, Tomcat server will not be started. Yesterday's program also will not run. Two servlets, if we give the same URL pattern, Tomcat will not be started. Yesterday's program also will not run. This will be the two reasons. Now, extends HTTP servlet. I'm using do get method. I'm using protected void do get of HTTP servlet request REQ HTTP servlet response RES throws servlet servlet exception and IO exception. Write the spelling correctly. Whether it is correct or not, if you want to check it, at the rate of override, you write. If any spelling is there, error will come. If any spelling mistake is there, error will come. That only at the rate of override. If you don't write override, error it will not show. So all of you add at the rate of override. Yesterday one student showed me do post do get error is coming means spelling mistake. So how to overcome spelling? Write that at the rate of override. It shows the error. Then you can read it. Because I added that do post, override and sending to you. Now, what this servlet has to do? Sir, this servlet has to see there. First, create object for view employees DAO. You create object using that object called retrieve method. The retrieve method will give array list in the background that will do the work and give to you. Okay, right. So create object for view employees DAO. View employees DAO. Some VED. Roughly, I am writing some names. Starting letters I am taking. New view employees DAO. I'm taking. This is DAO. Now, VED dot retrieve. This retrieve method returns array list. Array list holding employee bean. AL is equal to. All have understood this? Array list came. Right. Now, view employees servlet must give the response in the form of JSP. It has to give the response. It has to give the response. Response in the form of view employees.jsp. View employees.jsp. All have understood this? View employees.jsp. Here the output should come. How the output should come now, sir? It has to display the details. Sir, employee details must be displayed. Employee details must be displayed. Below this, again, option. You want to add employee. You want to add one more, or you want to see? Of course, the C option not there, but I'm giving it as a C, right? View employees. So again, you have to show this output out. Now the question from this is means now JSP has to display the data from array list. Yes or no? Na? JSP want to access array list. This array list address is with servlet. I am forwarding request and response. Here forward method only, no? RD dot to forward. I am forwarding request and response. RD dot forward request and response. Sir, whenever you are forwarding request and response here, how this array list will come here? It will not come. You are forwarding request and as empty, no? But you are not forwarding the array list. Yes or no? Na? Louder I want. All of you watching this situation, right? Now JSP want to access array list, but servlet is forwarding request and response only, not array list. So array list cannot come here. Sir, how to send it? What it has to do is one new thing. I said no. All will not be in the notes. Some points you have to observe it. So what it will do now? This servlet will add this array list to request. This address will be added here. AL is equal to 0x99 means this servlet is going to add that array list to your request and forward. Anyway, the request will be used by the JSP, it can collect it. So whenever you want to add something to the request, by terminology, we call it as attribute. What is the terminology now? Attribute. Now servlet is adding one attribute. Attribute means one variable it can add. That variable also non-primitive data type variable. Maybe class object or implemented object like this it can add. Array also it can add. Non-primitive data types only it can add. It is adding. See there how it is adding. In the servlet here array list came. I must add req dot set attribute. Set attribute. Attribute name is a list. The name I am taking it as a list. I'll take this name as a list. I'll take a list is equal to 0x99. This is attribute terminology. Attribute is a terminology. A list here AL. Adding attribute to request object means adding one variable. After adding this variable, now you can forward. Now you can forward. Request dispatcher RD is equal to REQ dot get request dispatcher view employees. View employees dot JSP. view employees dot JSP. I'm forwarding RD dot forward request and response. Whenever I'm forwarding the request, this A list will go. Yes or no? Na? Right. Now that JSP can collect it. See there how it will collect. I am going for JSP. View employees dot JSP. I'm writing 3 layers with same name. View employees DAO background to servlet. View employees servlet. View employees JSP. This is output. This is background. This is foreground. 3 I'm writing with the same names. View employees dot JSP. JSP you must write under web app. Right click, new JSP, view employees dot JSP, view employees dot JSP. Right. One more new thing is coming. One more new thing is coming. Here I am going to use array list. I am going to use employee bean. I am going to use employee bean. Employee bean will come out from array list. I am going to take the array list object from your request. So array list I must use in the JSP. Employee bean I must use in the JSP. Whenever I want to use in the JSP, I must import it. First time I am writing import statement in JSP. I am writing about 2 programs or 1 program. I not written import. Now I am writing import. See there in JSP, how to write import. You write like this: import is equal to double quotes. What you want to import? Java dot util star. There you are writing now util dot star, right? Dot star means all will come, comma. You want to import what now? I want to import test dot employee bean. I'm importing employee bean. I'm importing java.util.star. Star means all. You can write test dot star also, no problem. But you know the class name, na written class name. This is a way of writing import in JSP. New thing today is we are writing import in the JSP. Once completed, then go for scriptlet. Our visual. Our visual is, sir, we added a list to array list to request. I am forwarding the request. Now this A list is available to JSP. A list is available to JSP. You can collect it. How you will collect it now? See there. I am collecting array list. Array list holding employee bean AL array list employee bean request dot get attribute. What is the attribute name now? A list. Now see the complete format. Request dot get attribute. What is the attribute name now? A list. But get attribute return type is object. We are converting that object form into array list and converting here. I'll give the notes on attribute. Don't worry. So at last, AL is getting the address. AL is equal to 0x99. The address came. Developer visual. Our visual. I brought AL here successfully. That array list AL is equal to 0x99. I brought the address. Address has been brought. Through request. Once the AL came, you can display. You know how to display the data from your array list objects, right? Iterator, list iterator, enumeration, new thing, SPL iterator. If not for each, these many options are there. 8 features are there below 8. I'll write old one, iterator I'll write. Iterator, retrieving employee bean, IT is equal to AL dot iterator while IT dot IT dot as next employee bean, some EB is equal to employee bean IT dot next. That employee bean objects will come one by one. You can display. If you want, you can use any form tags here. I'm not using plain. I'll display first. I'll add later on. Okay, right. Display. How will display now? Sir, out dot print ln eb dot get employee eb dot get employee id nbsp. What is nbsp? Space is there now for you in HTML, right? Now eb dot get employee name, eb dot get employee designation, eb dot get basic salary, eb dot get HRA, get HRA, eb dot get DA, eb dot get total salary. BR means what now? New line. ID, name, designation, basic salary, HRA, DA, and so on. All of understood this? Right. Okay. Displays all after scriptlet tag completed. Here, percentile at the rate of include file is equal to, first one is there no, home dot HTML. We are going back. So this is the program. Right. This warning will come, leave it out anyway. Okay, right. So this is JSP. Whether that output is coming or not, let me cross check. Time over also, I'm not leaving until I complete. Run as, run on server, click on finish. Our target is what now? View employees. Output came now, right? So if you do some alignment, alignment will come. I'm not doing alignment, just what first output came. Now you can add it. Now you can view it. So all of you should run this program correctly and come. Monday, I'll give the assignment based on it. It's the target. To write this program only yesterday online. If I wasted my time today, it will be postponed to Monday. Yes or no, na? Because I forcibly written my logic yesterday. So that today, one form completed, you can practice and come. Monday, I'll make a review. What we have to do on it, I'll give an assignment. I'll go for tracking. Right. Take a break. I'll add this program to you with a diagram. Thank you very much for today.
JSP writer object automatically created. JSP writer object automatically created. Out is predefined. Out object is predefined. Here out dot println use. Out is set name. Okay. Yeah, request is also. And the question is, in class basic role is what? Just holding the. Sir, I'm one. And in real time, why JSP is always giving response, not sublet? In real time, why JSP is always giving response in not sublet? Is there an is always giving response to not sublet? Is there any security?
Sir, spring window May 1 start ಆಗಿದೆ ಸರ್ ಮಾರ್ಚ್ 8 ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್
We can close the connection and you return connection call. Okay. Sir, here JSP include or when it will be used. JSP include this.
Are you option master?
Yes, sir. Actually, I am coming from hometown, so I could.
Ask the classes.
Sir, you will tell in future classes.
I know attended. I made the statement.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Sir, the program and